So we now have the ability to go to the morgue and the Diogenes Club. Let's go to the Diogenes Club first. It seems like it has the most likely evidence in it. I mean, the morgue gives us, or the morgue, or the hospital, or whatever. Okay. So let's, oh, the fire wagon's gone now. It wasn't gone before, it's gone now. Okay. I guess the Sherlock Holmes will do some things we didn't do before. The bleached through unburned wood suggests a blaze of extraordinary heat. Certain types of explosions cause flash fires with such properties. Okay. It's interesting. Okay, that's the same dialogue I got when I was with Watson, but that one gave me a different one. Named for the cynic philosopher who sought virtue by living simply, the Diogenes counts several of London's most brilliant and unsociable men among its members, where such misanthropes will now congregate as an enigma. Okay.
Forbes, I'd like to go inside. Please assist me.
Until further notice, sir, the club is closed to members and guests.
I'm not here for a scotch and soda. I wish to examine the premises.
Impossible. Only authorized representatives of the constabulary are allowed inside.
What are you playing at? You deluded martinet, you...
Your attitude is deplorable, Forbes, but I suppose I must oblige you. My brother wondered if the fire brigade might have missed anything.
Nothing, Mr. Holmes. You've come in vain.
Any items or circumstances that seem not in accord with a gas explosion?
The brigade is satisfied that there's no evidence to the contrary.
Any odd or personal effects discovered?
No. Nothing of a private nature has been removed from the club. I'm sworn to protect members' property, and I will perform my duty.
He's like the anti-looting guy. Okay, well that makes sense.
Forbes, what happened after the explosion? Did you notice anything unusual?
I was stunned, not myself for a few moments.
You saw no one on the street when you revived?
No one except yourselves.
And let's see if the note works. I have a note. Permission.
I'll honor the inspector's request, the yard, CID and all. Respect for authority is the cornerstone of civilization. Must maintain discipline. Would have preferred a personal appeal.
Indeed, I'll tell him you felt slighted. He's sure to be mortified.
Okay.
Did you happen to spy any suspicious persons lurking about earlier?
I tolerate no loitering on my watch, Mr. Holmes. Members don't like it. If I so much as sniff a tradesman, I move them along sharpish.
Let's not tarry, Forbes. We'll go in now.
I warn you that it's dark and nasty inside.
That suits my mood down to the ground.
And I remind you, touch nothing.
Oh, he's coming in. He's the one that kicked me out. Okay. I didn't realize he's the one that kicked me out until now. Kicked me out last time. Watson. After I took something. Although he didn't take the thing I took, luckily. Okay, let's talk to him again.
Has anyone worked on the gas lines in the last day or so?
Checked and bled by Midlands last week. All in perfect order. Like Inspector Lestrade says, gas accidents are the price of progress.
Depend on Lestrade for a cliché in lieu of exercising his brain. The Lectio Facilior is fine for paleography, but it won't do for logic. The man's reasoning powers are abysmal. Do you remark anything odd about the entry, Forbes?
Well, it's burned and soaked with water, isn't it?
I mean, anything unexpected?
No, the place is a mess. I'll have to clean it up.
Okay. Here's a beverage cart. I don't recall us being able to look. The room is neatly leveled while a fragile cart survives as a proof of disaster's comparious character. And the portraits, can we look at those? Yep, it's it's a different dialogue. The club's founders are commemorated in oil. Brigadier Hastings, the tactician, Sir Wingate Caulfield, the naturalist, lately consumed by an obscure Caledonian tribe, and Mycroft Holmes. It is a cruel twist that Mycroft's image was less severely damaged than the man himself. Okay. This is box. Oh, we have more than. The box contains a few grains of what might be finely ground snuff. This blend of snuff tobacco is aged 4 years, fermented 3 times, pulverized and scented with essence of lilac and oleander. The distinctive mixture marks the box as Mycroft's is surely as if it bore his signature. Okay.
I've asked you not to touch club property. Put that back, if you please.
Forbes, my brother's snuff box is not included in your purview. Do not make yourself an unbearable nuisance.
Okay. Oh, look at him, he just blew his nose. That's nice.
Watson, where did we find Mycroft exactly?
It was just here, Holmes, beneath his portrait. You swept him up in your arms as if he were a child. Your strength amazed me.
Adrenaline, Doctor. Danger animates and strengthens as often as it paralyzes. Mycroft never travels far without his snuff box.
Must have fallen from his pocket when he was struck down.
Unlikely. His other personal effects were undisturbed by the explosion.
What is your hypothesis?
Any speculation would be less than idle. I imagine it was blown in from somewhere. The lid might tell a story. I'll keep the box as a memento. Impressions, Doctor?
It is difficult to be very observant in such conditions. I am surprised by the uneven nature of the damage. With a few structural exceptions, the easily flammable object suffered most.
Very astute, Watson.
Brandy. Perversely, a bottle from the club's prize store of Napoleon brandy is unscathed. Likewise, 3 crystal snifters, the mahogany bar, formerly a fixture at a disreputable Parisian coffeehouse, is badly scarred. I like the sample. That's quality. Oh, yeah, we'll just have a drink. We'll just have a drink. Save the game. Alright. Go this way. We'll just have a little drinky poo. Alright, I guess I want to probably go in here now. Everything the same? I think so. Oh, we can go further this way. We couldn't go this way last time. Okay, so we have more to look at. Alright, let's talk to people.
Forbes, the lounge appears wrapped in morning bombazine.
It hardly matters. There's nothing to see.
You'll excuse me if I should come to a different conclusion.
Suit yourself. Remember, touch nothing. Club rules must be enforced, even in...
Please don't put yourself out. We can get on by ourselves.
You may think so. It's my job to monitor the activities of strangers.
Watson, what do your feline orbs espy?
Outlines, Holmes. No real details. The smoke plays tricks with the light.
Okay, well, we can look at things that we saw before. See if we notice anything new. The walnut cabinet of the grandfather clock has been marred and pitted by a variety of flying debris. Some of the missiles collided with such force that they were stuck in the wood like pines in a potato. Okay. Examine the clock. That was look. Examine. Along the splintered glass, broken spindles, and severed chains that form the clockworks, a medium-sized brass handle looks out of place. Okay, touch.
Touch nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'll have to charge your brother an assessment.
Was your clock face near the grandfather, Watson?
It was, Holmes. How did you guess?
You know my methods, Doctor. I do not guess. I observe. I deduce. Anything of significance, Watson?
Not that I can see, which isn't much.
I'd like more of what you found, or your skill in finding it.
I wouldn't call it skill, Holmes. It was dumb luck.
Most men's modesty is a sham or an excuse, Doctor. Your modesty becomes you. Are you guarding the perimeter, Forbes?
This seems the best vantage point, Mr. Holmes.
Considering the upper story could collapse at any moment and crash down on our heads.
What? Oh, right, yes. Out of harm's way. Very unstable. Another reason to touch nothing.
Okay. Alright, what else we got? Bookshelves. So, the pathetic remnants of London's most brilliant private collection are scattered about. Those pre-1450 volumes spared by fire have been wrecked by water. Few things are as dispiriting as a library in ruins. Globe. Let's look at that. This celestial severe was exactingly fashioned in Antwerp, of pasteboard and tin. The explosion obliterated the greater part of the Milky Way, galaxy, and several other astrological bodies. Okay, well we've got our look at that. The once charming marmoreal female is now unrecognizable as she was unknown. The debate occasioned by her acquisition was very heated. Some members will mark her destruction as a sign of divine retribution. Others will regret her passing. Most won't notice her absence. Okay. Lounge, that's where we are. Wait, other chair. Let's look at that. Hard to see in the dark. Okay. Sir Hubert Fortescue's favorite chair is upended and wet, abandoned for the first time in recent memory. Its leather may still bear his body imprint. More bookshelves. Already bookshelf. Well, we'll look at these two. See if they say the same thing. Yes, it's the same thing. Okay. Look over here. Not unexpectedly, the members' lounge was as devastated by the concussive force of the explosion as by the fire that resulted from it. The adjacent strangers' room has virtually disappeared. The fire brigade's effort has caused extensive water damage. Now that's what happened. There's a chain. Look, chain. Several feet of brass chain hang forlornly from the ceiling. The explosion violently separated the chandelier that was suspended from it. The lighting fixture lays in ruins before the fireplace.
I've asked you not to touch anything, Mr. Holmes. That's club property.
Seriously. Portraits. Those. The charred frames of several portraits are all that remain of what a few benighted members were pleased to consider a highly selective art collection. Most members rightly thought the portraits to be extravagant rubbish. Rubbish.
Did the fire brigade uncover or remove any personal items from the room?
They briefly combed through the debris, discovered ashes, wood, splinters, broken bricks.
A simple no would suffice. I'm reasonably familiar with the language.
Whoops, I don't want to look at him.
I don't suppose you have a bullseye lantern, Forbes.
As it happens, I do not.
I'm not surprised. Fortunately, we are not dependent on your effects. Did Sir Hubert expire in his chair?
The old gentleman was lucky. Never knew what hit him.
Lucky? Is there any predicate to murder victim more inapt than lucky?
You can't prosecute the gas board for an accident.
Spare me your opinion, Forbes. He was murdered as surely as if he took a bullet to the brain. Have Sir Hubert's people been notified, Forbes?
He had no family, Mr. Holmes. Outlived them all. The Diogenes was kith and kin to him these many years. Good tipper he was. I'll miss him.
Your sentiment is touching. Forbes, were any of your own possessions lost in the blast?
Not that I know of. Have you found something of mine?
I'm not certain.
So curious about that. Wait, what was that handle? Before its violent separation from the case to which this was attached, this handle, covered with crocodile skin, complemented a fine Gladstone bag. One marker on Sheffield's manufactures thousands of similar handles yearly. And he just let me pick it up? Okay. Okay. Did I get a glitch with the music? I feel like the music glitched out on me. Oh, there's more stuff over here. Ooh, more stuff. Wreckage. Sift through this wreckage. I think there's a glitch here. I better let me save it.
Mr. Holmes, I've told you.
I don't understand this guy and his touch nothing attitude. His touch nothing attitude is very annoying. Okay, I'm gonna save. We got a glitch. Because I don't think this. That means you can give me hints. You can kind of like give me ideas on what to do, things like that. I mean, as saying, "Hey, did you see that thing over there?" or whatever. I'm fine with that. So I'm gonna quit and restart this. Yes, I'm gonna quit, restart because I have a sound glitch. Unfortunately, getting past the intro screen seems to be difficult. Hey! Hey, Wookiee breeder, how are you doing today? I wish there was an easy way to get through this.
Extra, read all about it. We could.
Regular in small.
Very good, sir.
Yeah, more or less. More like I like to play this game as a group, kind of as a group effort type thing. I mean, if you know the answer,
5 million souls in London.
I don't want to just get a walkthrough, but
Perhaps I can find some
Holmes,
I thought I skipped this last time.
And
please.
I understand. Thanks for stopping by. I hope your day is going well. Load. Love to. Alright, there we go. We're back. Okay. So yeah, big red art set. I like to kind of try and puzzle things out together. Yes, we did finish the last Holmes game. I finished it yesterday. It was a good ending. I mean, there were a lot of dead people at the end, but there's a beam. A beam. And look at it. The visibility is restricted, an intriguing mass of rubble and paper debris may be discerned. Pieces of stone and wood deny access to the pile. Lacking illumination, access isn't worth much. It could be dangerous. Well, here is my YouTube channel, and I post all of my videos to my YouTube channel. So, you can watch the ending there, although it won't be posted until after the stream is over tonight. So visibility is restricted. Could be dangerous. Well, I do have illumination. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. There was a little bit of pixel hunting in the serrated scalpel. There's a lot more in this game. This game has a lot of pixel hunting. They almost feel I think they didn't feel bad because they put little words over things, making it seem like, oh yeah, pixel hunting is okay. Inventory, lantern, can't use it apparently. Battery operated landing, focus on supplies, excellent in illumination, even in foggy conditions. Okay, well that's not gonna work. Sift. Let's do some more sifting. Oh yeah, that I remember that. I remember having to go to the lab. Luckily,
Mr. Holmes, I've told you.
I do remember that. In that game, pretty much the chemical stuff happened automatically. You just said, "I want to do this with this thing," and it just happened. In this game, it seems to want you to actually do stuff. So that's a little bit trickier in this game. So if I shift it, it could kill me. I don't think you can die. I think this is a game you can't die in.
I could move it with my shoulder, but it's not worth being crushed by the falling rubble.
Anything else? Lounged. Well, I guess we'll talk to yeah, I've already done that. Gotta go back over to a Watson. Let's talk to him.
Watson, do you have a bullseye? It's as dark as a rent collector's heart over here.
I don't have mine, Holmes. Battery's gone. What do you need?
I'd like to shed some light on the situation rather than curse the darkness.
I have one.
I put it to you, Forbes, that before the explosion a man entered the club carrying a valise.
No one could enter the club with a case without my notice. I am responsible and trusted.
Your competence is not at issue, Forbes, but I promise prevarication will ruin you. Now, could anyone have entered the club with a case?
A stranger did come in while I was at my tea. Saw his head and shoulders as he walked to the lounge. Average sort of youngish gentleman, presentable. Had flat eyes like an animal. His party must have been out because he left a minute later. He's the only possibility, Mr. Holmes, I swear.
Thank you, Forbes. That's very satisfactory.
Okay. I don't do. Feel like there's more here. No, I want to use it. Ah. No. What else can we do in here? There's something over here that I feel like we need to do, and we're not doing. Lounge, 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 wreckage, beam. Yeah, I already got that one. The head of the statue, like.
Come, Watson, let's carry on.
If we must, Holmes. This is a deuced gloomy place.
These timbers must be hewn.
I'm no lumberjack, Holmes, and we have no saw.
There's more than one way to fell a tree.
Okay. What we can do in here? They're still in there. I think we're supposed to be in there. They're still in there, so I don't think there's anything we can do in here. What? The globe? I think I already looked at that. Bookshelves. Orbs. Bust here. I haven't looked at that. The irony of possessing a bust of one of history's great orators is presumably lost on those club members who hold all speech to be a pernicious modern convention. Okay. We got a information on a man that entered the club while he was on tea. Interestingly enough.
I've asked you not to.
Yeah. The chain up here too. Double gauge length. This brass chain is deceptively strong. The bronze-coated chandelier it supports weighs more than a man. Despite the explosion, the chain is still firmly anchored to the ceiling and wall. Okay. No, I don't want to exit.
Watson, might I have a word?
What is it, Holmes?
Do you see a way to dislodge that particular beam without loss of life or limb?
Remove it from a distance. But Forbes will be unhappy if you interfere with that pile.
Then he must be distracted.
Ah.
Watson, I was just thinking of that embalmed armadillo.
Do tell, Holmes.
The military implications are momentous. Impenetrable armor plating, low to the ground. Indefatigable diggers. Perhaps they could be bred larger and taught to fire a cannon. I'll get on to the War Department, shall I? You might analyze the shelves. Was the destruction of the book selective or random, based on Babbage's principle of non-discriminating violent action?
As you say, Holmes.
Excellent, Watson, excellent.
Just a moment, Doctor. I'll superintend your activity. Mr. Holmes appears to have gone daft.
Alright. Is this puzzle 1 of distracting people? The first game had I got a chain. Okay. Maybe I can use that chain on the beam. Like this, like a rope. Strong. So inventory, chain, dislodge, beam. Interesting how it's dislodge, not use. Okay. Let's see. Can we actually use our lantern now? What's this handle like? For its violent separation from the case of which it was attached, this handle. Oh, yeah, I already looked at that. Okay. Got a snuff box. Got this. Illuminate. Illuminate the wreckage. The pile of timber and stone is immovably wedged. A metallic glint sparkles through the ash beneath and beyond the impassable mass, and it could be dangerous. Okay, where's this sparkly thing? I don't see it. Oh, that's my lantern. Where's the sparkly thing? I don't see a sparkly thing. See the chain. Man. I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, maybe I have to sift through the wreckage to find it.
Here's the little darling, unexpected and therefore most interesting, but an expert would find it even more illuminating.
Ah. What did I get? Solid clean. It's not a streak of light. It's a source of a small spring. Okay. Let's pick this up now. Take the lantern again. Okay. See what we ended up with. White carbon ash and a chemical residue are fused to the spring, which is attached to a ratchet wheel and post. Millions of identical mechanisms wind small alarm clocks. An expert might detect more detailed significance. Interesting. I can't use the chain anymore. Hey, they're back. They're back. I want to talk to him. Oh. Huh.
I believe we exhausted the possibilities of this location, Watson.
I hope that you have taken more away from here than I. The fumes are making me woozy.
Alright, now let's go to the hospital. And see how the person there treats hey, how'd you get over there? What the heck?
I hope you're satisfied.
You'd be the last to know, Forbes.
You'd be the last to know, Forbes. Alright, let's go to the hospital. I was like, who's that guy at the counter? And he's still there! He's still there! Oh my gosh! He is still there! Let's look at him. See what I deduced from him. If he survives his illness, this poor soul will likely expire from boredom. Of the many ways there are to die, few can match the absurdity of departing this life clothed in ridiculous garments, after having been forced to lie interminably in a draughty hall, completely ignored by one and all. Is that supposed to rhyme? Because it did. Okay, let's talk to...
Matron, I would like to see my brother, Mycroft Holmes.
Your desire and hospital policy do not happen to coincide.
Hospital policy be damned, he's in a precarious condition.
Language, Mr. Holmes. Don't make me call the police.
Why this animus? Is it that incident with the bedpans? Do you still hold a grudge for that student prank?
Assume what you will. Your tenure here was mercifully brief. The medical profession lost nothing when you left us.
No need to be insulting, Matron.
As neither of you have any official standing here, please move along.
Take this. I have permission.
You'll note I'm authorized to investigate matters relating to the Diogenes explosion.
It's nothing to me. The inspector has no standing among my charges, the quick or the dead. In any case, this is a solicitation for cooperation, not an order.
Wow. She is not nice. She is just a mean person.
I ask again, in a civil manner, for permission to see my brother. I am his only relation.
I cannot allow sympathy to shift my judgment. Mr. Holmes will not expire any time soon. There's no need to disturb him and transgress hospital regulations.
That tears it, Watson. It's war.
That tears it, Watson. It's war. It's war.
A person in your position should not be guided by prejudice, Matron.
You've never thought much of my judgment or my authority, Mr. Holmes. Now, if there's nothing more, please leave.
Hey, she used the word please. That was nice. Alright. Let's talk to Watson.
I'd like to throttle the desiccated old bat.
Render a valuable public service, but I doubt you would make the Queen's Honours List for your trouble.
How did you bypass this impediment?
Via the morgue. It's the only convenient way to enter and avoid a night in the Bow Street lockup.
I trust you have no objection if we visit the coroner.
You trust in vain. Dr. Watson has recently pestered him. I can't think of any reason why you should do the same.
Medical care is dispensed. Oh yeah, it's gratis to the poor. Matron allows a favored few to linger on the mezzanine, a respite from being roused by the police, molested by hooligans, or attacked by urban vermin. These patients appear and sound to be in the grip of a highly contagious influenza that is sweeping the city. Okay. Let's get...
Is change forbidden at Bart's?
So it would seem. I feel transported back in time.
Indeed, to the Dark Ages or some similarly dismal and repressive era.
No. To my days as a staff surgeon.
Perhaps to the heyday of the Inquisition. A single glimpse of Matron the Merciless recalled a legion of disagreeable memories. Watson, will this influenza become an epidemic?
I don't know, Holmes, but any viral disease poses a serious risk even to the healthy.
In that case, a hospital is no place to be. Let us stay no longer than absolutely necessary.
Oh, we have an examine button. The patient's labored breathing, his rattling, hacking cough, and his pallid complexion suggest a very serious upper respiratory condition. Okay, can we talk?
Excuse me, sir. What is your ailment?
Stagnation at lungs. I'm weak.
Then why are you languishing in this draughty hall?
They're going to stitch up my head what I bashed when I fainted. So I got to take me chances. But if I get this new influenza, I'm for it.
Sir, how long have you been unattended in this wretched hall?
For bleeding ever, if you'll excuse the expression. No one tells me what's going on. I'm not furniture.
Okay. Well, maybe I can use that against her. I can say, like...
Matron, why is this patient forced to languish in this pestiferous hall?
This hall is scrubbed daily. The patient and his insignificant ailments wait on the convenience of one of our most distinguished physicians.
By the time that worthy arrives, he may be able to add pneumonia or influenza to the man's symptoms.
Tend to your own knitting, Mr. Holmes. We will attend to ours.
Have you conceived of a perfectly gruesome method for disposing of the brute?
Nothing so permanent, alas, but a diversion might serve us.
Oh, another
she can't
diversion.
attend to her patients and her paperwork at once.
Watson, I'm grateful that mischief is part of your makeup. The invalid might assist us.
The invalid might assist us. Well, let's talk to him again.
Would you mind if I pushed your gurney to a warmer and more sanitary spot?
As long as I'm on it, I couldn't care less. Any change of scenery would be appreciated.
That patient must be retrieved. I won't forget this. You've earned trouble for yourselves.
Watson, I think we should take this opportunity to explore the bowels of Bart.
I'm with you, Holmes. I wouldn't want to face her alone.
Just gonna go to the morgue. Hey, the mortician or the medical examiner is in a different spot. Cool. Let's look at him. The law requires a post-mortem examination for persons whose deaths are suspicious, inexplicable, or simply unwitnessed by a physician. In London, this means the medical examiner never wants for work. Fortunately, Dr. McCabe is enthusiastic about his seemingly macabre duties. Let's talk to him.
Dr. McCabe, might I have a moment of your valuable time?
Not so valuable that I can't afford to spend it as I choose.
Can you tell me how Sir Hubert Fortescue died?
You know better than to ask without authorization, Mr. Holmes.
Of course. Oh, I do have permission, don't I?
Thank you. It never gives me pleasure to deny or ignore your inquiries, Mr. Holmes, but things must be done properly.
He's like one of those stickler for the rules guys, too. Apparently.
How many cadavers do you process in a given day?
Too many. Please excuse me. I'm up to my elbows in work.
Not a terribly felicitous expression, considering your vocation.
Perhaps, but accurate. Your visit had a point, I suppose, besides to criticize my choice of words.
Excuse me, Doctor, I was rude.
The body lies supine on the autopsy table. Okay, I've already gotten that.
Your findings on Sir Hubert, please, Doctor.
The official cause of death was asphyxiation. There is evidence of extensive brain trauma.
And the laceration on his head?
Occurred before death. It is not, however, the source of the brain injury.
Typically precise and pertinent, Doctor.
Flatterer. Now that you've had your way with me, you'll be off to the new ward just like Dr. Watson. You'll pass from my morgue like snow in April.
Perhaps. But we all must travel this way again. We are all yours in the end, Doctor. Might I examine the body?
Yes, I'll try not to take your request as a criticism of my performance.
Accepting the Emmy's usual depredations and a deep laceration above his left eye, there are no other indication of abdominal damage. I have the option to turn the corpse. Let's do that. Tiny blisters have appeared in a few places on Sir Hubert's neck and shoulders. Let's do another examination. Return. Okay. The smell noise. The unmistakable scent of burning hair is mingling with that of carbon smoke. Okay. I'll smell, turn, examine it. See if I can look at his clothes now.
Might I see Sir Hubert's clothes?
Help yourself. You know where I keep them.
Mycroft's soot-stained waistcoat and shirt hang on a peg. His jacket and trousers were shredded and presumably discarded. Sir Hubert's jacket is scorched, though not burned through. His tweed clothing and sturdy shoes bespeak an enthusiastic Highlander, though he came no nearer to Scotland than indulging a passion for single malt whiskey. Okay. tag, contains the name of the occupant, the respective drawer, date of birth, date and cause of death, biography reduced pathetically to basics. Modern science is now equipped to hygienically stockpile the coroner's handiwork. Beyond these stainless steel drawers, huge blocks of ice keep the cadavers cold until they are released for burial or cremation. Okay, let's see if I can talk off.
What can you tell me about the burns on his back, Doctor?
Mostly first degree. His tweed coat is as heavy as a horse blanket.
Have you conclusions about the nature of the fire which killed him?
I suspect a flash fire. Very hot, oxygen-devouring, but its heat was not sustained.
One that could burn convenient fuel, but move too fast to consume heavy furniture, and, forgive me, flesh?
Precisely.
Okay.
Can the stench of carbolic be harmful to one's health, Watson?
You're overly sensitive, Holmes. A morgue must be disinfected regularly. I rather enjoy it.
Chacun son goût, as my French relations say. The rankest abattoir can be no worse. The morgue and a dental office have much in common, Watson.
You mean that one ardently hopes to avoid visits to both?
Exactly. One feels fortunate to emerge and vows to repeat the experience only under duress. This brings us a little further along, Watson.
Not for the first time, Holmes. You have lost me. What do you mean?
The manner of Sir Hubert's death is a key.
My friend, perhaps you should rest. You're starting to ramble.
Forgive me. Sir Hubert's death confirms your discovery at the club. The explosion's the important thing.
Alright, now we can go to see Mycroft. Here we are. Hey, she's like, oh, there she goes.
Can you repeat what my brother has said since you've been on duty?
I'm no eavesdropper. He uses mostly big words, and his language has not been of the highest quality. I brushed more than once.
Okay. What is Watson doing? Nothing? Nothing? Look. Look! Patients may place spectacles, medicines, or meager personal effects on these stands, but not all at the same time. Mycroft's table supports a small water glass, a chipped bud vase, and a relatively new Salvation Army hymnal. Let's look at this chart. Read his chart? I guess read his chart. A receipt. An unsigned receipt records 2 keys on a ring, a black leather card case with the letters MH embossed in gold, a wallet containing £16, and a checkbook. Interesting.
Now, Watson, the means to probe Mycroft's inner sanctum are in hand.
So what did I get there? Did I get... What's this? Mycroft's face and scalp are lacerated and singed. His concussion is described as severe. As proof, he declaims in enigmatic fragments. Through a devotee of word games since childhood, his mode of speech seems less than intentional. Okay.
Hello, brother. You're keeping well, I hope?
Yes, elephant ears, too inquisitive by her. Imbecilic, treacherous louts. Those fools are playing at what? What? Oh, where are you? Sherlock!
Calm yourself, Mycroft. I'm right here. Tell me why you summoned us to the Diogenes.
No. It's safe. Joburg chaps, first rate, who died but was not born.
That's too obscure. What's safe? My brain isn't everything it might be, Mycroft. Nor is yours, it seems. What is it, Mycroft? What do you have for me? Where do you have it?
Where's the heart? Shush, shush. Here's a secret. Sahara has none. Better than cursing the darkness.
Come again?
I'm so tired. Now I lay me down to sleep.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep talking to people. See if I can get anywhere here. Nope. What about Watson? He's talking just rubberish. Rubbish.
His club's in ruins. He wouldn't risk his office. Home is where the heart is. He must mean he has something at his digs.
I'd rather not get nicked for breaking and entering.
I'll hardly be denied access to my own brother's flat.
Do you imagine a senior minister's portal is more easily penetrable than Mrs. Hudson's door?
As always, Watson, you make an excellent point.
Well, I have a receipt for a key.
Have you made anything of Mycroft's speech, Watson?
No. I wish I'd read Freud's recent work more closely. Or perhaps the neurologist would be more informative. He can talk in symbols and anagrams and riddles, but conventional speech seems impossible. Were we not desperate for information, it would be entirely fascinating.
But as we are desperate, it is aggravating. We must be inventive. I'm armed to do battle with Matron, Doctor. I trust you will support me.
At your service, Holmes. We shall secure Mycroft's effects or die in the attempt.
When Stevenson wrote that there is nothing like a little judicious levity, he might have added, thank heaven.
Oh, so the receipt I give to the person up front and get their personal effects. That's the idea. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Mycroft, do you recall Clifford, Ashley, Buckingham, Arlington, and Lauderdale?
A clique of intriguers. Are they back? Where?
His incapacity is not permanent. He knows a cabal when he hears it.
Okay, that's it. Alright, I think we're done in here. See what I have to say about the pictures. Same thing. In devotion to the memory of his eponymous hero, the staff has hung depictions of Saint Bartholomew enduring his several reported martyrdoms, one by flame, another by decapitation, and a third by stoning. Yes, I do have a different opinion on those. Alright, we're gonna go out and see if we can, we can give this receipt and see what happens. Okay, so let's save again.
Please retrieve my brother's effects, matron, immediately.
I'll take up your behavior with the director, Mr. Holmes. Your ruse has violated the essence of hospital policy.
Matron, this receipt is in order. Spare me the lecture and produce the effects.
I note that age has not improved your intractable character.
Allegations of theft or misappropriation would not serve the hospital. I'll sign for the keyring. You may keep the wallet and other items.
Okay, I got it. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. So now I got that. Yes, I got a key ring. Alright. Alright. 2 keys are attached to a gold key ring. The smaller key would fit a valise or suitcase lock. The larger key is fashioned to fit an unusual door lock. Okay, it doesn't look that unusual, but I'll just trust you on that. Okay, now what? I guess I can leave, right? To the city. I mean, that seems like... Okay, we're at Mycroft's place. Mycroft's place. Alright, see what we got here. Got a man at the door. The Arms is one of Pall Mall's most distinguished and least prepossessing addresses. Its modest exterior reflects the refined taste of its residents, mainly senior civil servants. They enjoy the building's spacious rooms and its proximity to Whitehall and other clubs. This guy. Handsome men form a unique core of skilled horsemen, unruffled by the crush of urban traffic, fearless in the city's less appetizing neighborhoods, and seemingly immune from the effects of mass quantities of strong drink. The driver looks familiar. His sturdy boots, inquisitive eye, and the unseemly bulge beneath his coat suggest experience in law enforcement. Oh, I tried to talk to him and he left. Okay. That's interesting. And what else? Got the city. Plant. So, you can examine it too. Interesting. The flowers of tropical pretensions, South Africa. Okay. We can examine it. Let's examine it. I don't know why we'd want to examine it. plant is well tended and watered. Someone has taken much trouble to raise it in the hostile London climate. Okay. Interesting. Standing over 6.5 feet tall and weighing at least 20 stone, this gent is stationed as if he were doorman to the arms, but his size and clothing proclaim to the observant he is something other than that. Okay. Let's talk.
What is your name, if I might ask?
Colleran, sir. Bob Colleran. How may I be of service?
Mr. Mycroft Holmes is my brother, Colleran. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if we waited for him upstairs.
That would be out of order, sir. You are not expected, sir. Unexpected guests are not received by residents.
Really?
Colleran, I assure you I can be trusted upstairs. My brother summoned me.
So you say. Have you not heard of Mr. Sherlock Holmes? He is our most famous detective. His cases are the talk of all London. I believe little of what I hear, sir, and nothing of what I read in the press.
I should have identification which should entitle me to some consideration.
Consideration, no. But if you can prove your relationship, perhaps an explanation is owing.
Okay, well I can show him the keys and that's
Very interesting.
wait.
A card doesn't confirm identity, sir. It proves nothing except you've taken the trouble to have one made up.
I mean that's valid.
Lestrade requests my cooperation? I think not. I've never even heard of the man.
Well, I was trying to show my name on it as proof of my identity, but okay. Alright, let's talk to Watson. Maybe he has an idea. Maybe we need to distract him.
There is something particular about that driver, Watson.
You carry suspicion to excess, Holmes. He looks ordinary enough, though his tailor is a good bit more skillful than mine.
Unless I'm mistaken, he has a pistol in his pants.
There are brigands everywhere these days.
But not on Pall Mall, Doctor. Look him over, please. His posture is familiar.
Touch. Got touch option. Touch option. Cab has been sitting some time. The wheels are cold. This particular cab, though it looks like any of London's ubiquitous hansoms, is probably dedicated to the service of a certain of the building's residents. The carriage is named for its designer, the late J.A. Hansom. Okay. Alright, anything else to talk to this guy about? Here comes Watson.
I see you have lately returned from South Africa.
I might have done.
You worked in the mines at least a year, but not for any of the usual reasons.
How do you know? Is it my voice? I fool most people.
I observed you, Colleran, nothing more. You are some sort of government official, I take it?
In a manner of speaking, sir. I'll appreciate no more questions along those lines. Let's just say I'm charged with the welfare of the residents here and their possessions.
Could we go in now, Colleran?
Whoa. The heck?
How did you come by the keys? Your welfare depends on your answer.
There is no need to manhandle me. Are you a villain?
No. Now make me believe that you aren't.
The heck was that? That was some physical violence there.
Perhaps a modest inducement of a monetary type would open the door.
Bribes are not in my...
Okay.
I don't recognize the character at the door. Be circumspect.
I'll follow your lead, Holmes.
Have you learned anything of significance, Watson?
Perhaps. The driver resembles one of Lestrade's lackeys from years ago, party named Tallboy.
That's right. I remember him now. Suggestions, Watson?
I wish I had one, Holmes. I'm sorry. The brilliance of Pall Mall makes me feel duller than usual.
Do you know my brother was injured in the Diogenes explosion?
You've got my attention.
We took him to Bart's. I got his keys from there. I'm not at liberty to say more.
If you don't, you may be without liberty, period.
That sounded distinctly like a threat.
As you like.
My brother summoned me, Colleran, but the explosion struck him down before we met. I'm trying to discover the reason for his rare summons. He is currently unable to speak cogently.
A more straightforward approach might have served you better. I'm still not certain who you are.
Driver's back now. Let's see if I can talk to him. Or will he run away again?
Constable Tallboy, isn't it? Could I have a moment of your time?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, though I'm no longer with the force.
Would you be so kind as to vouch for my bona fides to Mr. Colleran?
I wouldn't mind. These two is all right, Colleran. It's Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Done more than one good turn for me when I was with the CID.
Thank you, Tallboy. Still at your appointed post, Tallboy?
Now and always, Mr. Holmes. It's good work, but not much of it. My clients prefer to walk.
Please ensure we are not disturbed while we are upstairs, Colleran.
Depend on it, Mr. Holmes.
Alright, I think we got in. Got in. Alright, boom, we're in.